Alright, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel and another playoff series breakdown video. Today we have the Washington Nationals and the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're in the NLDS. It should be a series. We'll put it that way. I'm trying to do more baseball stuff on the channel, so make sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoy it. Tell me if you agree with me or disagree with me. But there's going to be no gameplay in this. I'm just going to use MLB The Show to kind of go over the rosters, what you can expect to see, and then I'll give a prediction at the end and maybe some storylines to watch out for throughout the series. So, let's get into it. Okay, the two announced starters for Game 1, which is tonight, is Walker Buehler and Patrick Corbin. Obviously here, I would say advantage Dodgers right out the gate. I think Buehler is probably going to dominate the Nationals lineup, or at least be better off than Patrick Corbin. But as you kind of go down the roster here, we'll take a look at the Dodgers pitching overall first. So you have Buehler, you have Rich Hill there to pitch potentially, I guess, if you need him. To me, in the playoffs, you go with a three-man rotation. So that would be, for me at least, that'd be Buehler, Kershaw, and Ryu. Those would be the three. But if you have another starter, I think Rich Hill is certainly viable. I would expect to see Hill, though, out of the pen potentially. So I would say those are the three starters, and potentially Rich Hill if you need a fourth one. I would expect Ross Stripling potentially out of the pen. Dustin May, I believe, is the rookie, and he's been not bad out of the pen since calling him up. He's been all right. Kenta Maeda, you can expect to see out of the pen a lot. And pretty much, if you're a Dodgers fan, all the normal suspects that you see. So Kelly, you can expect to see Baez. Obviously, Kenley Jansen. You could see Urias out of the pen. They have a lot of different directions they can go. They're out of the pen. So the pitching's good. For the Dodgers, it is good. It is a very solid rotation and bullpen. The Nationals. So the Nationals are in a tricky spot here. Obviously, Scherzer started the wild card game, got burned a little bit. Strasburg came in relief, so both of those two guys are burned for at least a little bit. So Patrick Corbin gets a Game 1 start instead of either Scherzer or Strasburg. It's not bad. Corbin's pretty good. It's just not really what you would want to see if you're the Washington Nationals. So it's interesting. It's going to depend on how quickly Scherzer and Strasburg are able to recover as to who the starting pitchers are going to be here for Washington. So you have Corbin. Anibal Sanchez might need to start, and this is not an ideal situation for Washington by any means, because you'd rather have Scherzer or Strasburg. But I think Anibal Sanchez could get the ball game too, and I don't know if they've announced that yet. Max Scherzer, obviously, Steven Strasburg there. I would say if Sanchez doesn't get a start, you could see Sanchez out of the pen. Other pitchers to look for, Fernando Rodney, I would expect he pitches some innings in this one, as well as Dan Hudson, who got the close and the save, I believe, in the wild card game there a few days ago. Hunter Strickland is there. Sean Doolittle is interesting. So he's obviously listed as the closer on the Nationals roster and stuff. Here on MLB The Show and on MLB.com, Baseball Reference, was the closer most of the year. But when it came time to close the wild card game, he was not in the game. It was Daniel Hudson, who, to Daniel Hudson's credit, has been great. And they traded for him from the Blue Jays. So obviously you want Daniel Hudson to be that guy. But he's... I don't know. I don't know where you see Sean Doolittle. I imagine it'll be in the 9th a lot, but I wouldn't be stunned if he comes out in the 8th. But overall, or even the 7th, I guess, for Sean Doolittle. Overall, though, I would say advantage Dodgers in the pitching department. Obviously, Scherzer is a beast, but he hasn't really been since he came back from the injury. But you never know. Playoff Max Scherzer is a different kind of animal. Strasburg, obviously, also a beast. Expect to see him very soon. But yeah, so advantage Dodgers in the pitching department. Alright, so for the Dodgers here, I'm going to assume a lefty is on the mound, at least for Game 1 he is. This would be the roster I'd expect to see. So you have David Freese, Muncy, Turner, Bellinger, Pollock, Seager, Chris Taylor, or potentially, I guess, you could see Kike Hernandez out there. And then Will Smith, the catcher. He's busted onto the scene. He's been phenomenal since coming up. Potentially also Russell Martin, you could see. People on the bench. You could potentially see Peterson, Taylor, maybe Lux. Obviously, we talked about Martin. So there's options there. The big storylines here. Is Bellinger going to try to extend himself? Is he going to try to be doing too much? Because that's been the Bellinger. It's kind of been getting himself into problems. He was on fire the first month or so of the year. And since then, he's really cooled off because he tried to be that guy that's doing too much. And the Bellinger that really excels is just being himself, because that is an elite player. But when he extends the zone and stuff, it's tough. His average goes down. He swings the pitches out of the zone, and obviously when you do that, it's not a good experience for anyone. Other storylines, Turner. Can he be healthy? Is this the guy is this the healthy Justin Turner, or is this just kind of the banged up Justin Turner that has been there so often, I guess, for the Dodgers? The other one, how do you use the bench? How do you use Jock Peterson? How do you use Russell Martin? How do you use, Kike Hernandez if he's on the bench, or Chris Taylor when he's on the bench inevitably? There's a lot of questions here for the Dodgers. The lineup, though, is stacked. David Freese obviously has been here before with the Cardinals, and with the Dodgers. He's good. The lineup overall, 1 through 9, is really good, except for the pitchers. So I guess 1 through 8 is really good. For the Nationals, let's take a look. So you have Turner, Eaton, Rendon, Soto, Zimmerman, Dozier, Robles, Suzuki, Corbin. All these guys, not new. They were all on the wild card roster. Some storylines here. Is Juan Soto going to continue to be a beast? Anthony Rendon, he needs to continue to be MVP type Anthony Rendon. Is Trey Turner going to show more pop like he did at the wild card game? Brian Dozier, how much do you play Dozier over utility guys like, say, Cabrera? There's a lot of things. Does Howie Kendrick get at bats? Gerardo Parra, when does the baby shark come in? Michael Taylor, is he just a pinch hitting, pinch running option? Is he going to get time out there in center field? How much does Cabrera play? How much does Yan Gomes get to catch? Is Matt Adams still existent on the planet? There's a lot of things that you have to question if you're the Nationals about the roster. Obviously, 1 through 4, maybe even 5, really good. Ryan Zimmerman, rounding that out, has been good. Asdrubal Cabrera, even since coming over, has been a beast. I think you start him a lot, and you start him often. Maybe even you start him over Brian Dozier, and that makes the lineup even better. Gerardo Parra has been an animal all year since joining Washington. He didn't start the year there, I don't think, but it's interesting. The lineup for Washington is actually really good. The only question is, again, the pen, and which Max Scherzer are you going to get? I'm not sure. I don't know. My prediction officially, I think Dodgers in 5. I think it's a good series. I think it's going to be more competitive than the other NLDS series, which is, the Braves playing the Cardinals. But I think Dodgers in 5. I think the pen and the starting pitching for the Dodgers is just too much. And the Nats just don't have the arms to stay up. Unless you get 7 or 8 dominant out of Corbin, unless you get Scherzer to show up and be the first half Max Scherzer and the Scherzer you expect, unless Strauss shows up and is dominant, I don't see a way that the Nats pull this out. I think they maybe squeak a couple of wins. They might win both of them at home, or however it works out. But I think Dodgers in 4 or 5 is pretty realistic. That's going to do it for the video, guys. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with the ALDS breakdowns.